What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Unstoppable, the elite mind and body podcast for men. Today, I'm going to ask you guys a question today. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. The question is, who is your why? Who is your why? Okay, because most people have a why that's their kids. I want to get in shape so I can live a long time for my kids. Or I want to build a big business so I can generate wealth for my kids, my kids' kids, my grandkids. Or I want to be able to make enough to support my parents after retirement. Or I want to make enough because why is my parents and I want to buy them a house, right? Most people's why is someone, okay? Usually whys aren't something. It's not because people want to get Porsches and Lamborghinis and stuff like that. That's not the reason why people do things. The reason why most people do anything comes down to a why. That is a person. Okay. Now, I believed this for many years as well. Okay. I believe that my why was my wife. I believe that my why was my kids. I believe that the reason why I needed to get better in life and learn and grow and build a business and build a great body and compete and do all the things that I've done over my life was to build a life for my family, right? Now, I want to bring up something that's against the grain. And I want you guys to listen to it because it's a realization that I've come to rather recently, and I think it's extremely important to factor into your consideration of who your actual why is, okay? Because here's the thing. If your why is someone else, then you're living for someone else, okay? Let me repeat that. If your why is someone else, you're living for someone else, okay? Now, most people don't think that's a bad thing. Most people think, hey, you know what? I'm living for my kids. I want to be the best man I can be for my kids. I want to do everything that I can for my kids. Or I want to be the best man I can be because Jesus wants me to. I want to be great in Jesus' eyes and the Lord's eyes. Or it's like, I want to be the best man I can be for my spouse, for my partner. You're not living for yourself. Okay. Now, I came to this realization because I've always had a fear of being alone. Okay. I've always had this weird kind of fear of being alone. Like whenever my family's gone, my wife's gone, my kids are gone, and I'm not in a house full of chaos and like I'm actually just alone by myself, I've always been afraid of that for some reason. Like I get stressed, I get anxious, I get weird, like I just get worried. My thoughts go on dark, like go to dark places, especially in my past. And so being alone was weird for me. It was foreign, right? Now, the reason why, and this is something that you may really, really relate to, so I want you to pay close attention to this. The reason why is because I've been with my wife for 10 years. We had kids 4 years ago, sorry. And so for the last 10 years, I've always been with someone, conjoined, always with my wife or always with my kids. I'm never like alone. The last time that I was alone, I was 18 years old. And when I was 18 years old, I fucking destroyed my life. When I was 18 years old, I ruined my life in every possible way. I lost all my muscle that I had achieved in high school. I was super skinny. I was fat, skinny. I was unconfident. I was drinking every single day. I was doing drugs every single day. I was bartending and I was a degenerate. Like I was crashing cars, drinking and driving. I was getting arrested, thrown in jail overnight for possession, for theft, for fraud. I was vandalizing things. I was literally like, I ruined my life the last time I was alone. And so over the last 10 years, it's made being alone this weird thing. Now, how does this relate to you and who your why is and why this is going to help you? This relates to you because you need to start living for yourself. You need to start, your why needs to be you. It can't be someone else. Because over the last 10 years, I've believed this in my soul. Because the last time that I was alone, I ruined my life. Okay? So when I met my wife and I was in a really bad spot, I believed that she was the reason why I was going to get better. She was the reason why I was going to get in shape. She was the reason why I was going to stop drinking and doing drugs. She was the reason why I needed to build a business. She was the reason why I was getting better. And then as my kids were born, then my kids are the reason why I want to build a big business. My kids are the reason why I want to stay in shape. My kids are the reason why I need to blow up on social media and do all the things I'm doing, whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is when you live for someone other than yourself, you can't ever truly be happy. Okay. And I'm not saying that I'm not happy. I'm a very happy person. What I'm saying is, if your why for getting in shape is for your kids or for your spouse or to live a long time so you can see your kids, grandkids, and stuff like that, yes, it's powerful. But what's infinitely more powerful is having a why of wanting to get in shape because you deserve it, because you believe that you deserve to be in shape, that you want to be in shape for yourself because you love yourself, you respect yourself, you want to be fulfilled, you want to live your highest potential life. That is ultimately a much more powerful reason than for someone else. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't even matter if it's God. I'm serious. The most important person to live for is you. Actualizing your highest self, actualizing your full potential for yourself because you respect yourself, because you love yourself, because you want to be fulfilled, and because you want to sleep easy at night knowing that you are the best version of you possible. And by extension of having yourself as your why, your relationships will improve with God, with your spouse, with your kids. The way you hold yourself will improve. Your business will improve. Your ability to give back to society will improve when you are your own why. Guys, when I read most of my clients' whys, it has everything to do with everyone else and nothing to do with themselves. Okay? Now, I want to talk about something that, I actually want to talk about a state of mind that I want you guys to start really and truly developing as you start to think about these things. Hey, if I shift focus to myself, being my own why, being my own motivating factor for taking my life, my business, my family, my health to the next level, you have to become an independent powerhouse. Okay? Become an independent powerhouse. This is a state of mind. Okay? Now, I'm going to break this down. What does independent mean and what does powerhouse mean? Okay? Becoming an independent powerhouse means when you're independent, you are fully self-sufficient, meaning no one needs to take care of you. No one needs to take care of you except yourself. You are financially stable. You are mentally stable. You are emotionally stable. You are physically stable, and you are spiritually stable, meaning no one needs to save you. No one needs to hold you up, lift you up. You are fully self-sufficient. The second part of being independent is that you're committed to growth. Be independent enough to know that every single time, every single second you're alone, every single second you're not working towards your goals, towards your purpose, towards the things that you love, you should be learning and growing and evolving as a human being, right? That helps take your independence to an entirely new level, because if you're constantly growing, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly learning, you're going to become even more self-sufficient, which means more independent. Now, the other part of independent is to be able to be alone and not spiral. This is something that I struggled with for many years. Anytime I would be alone, my thoughts would go to dark places. I would feel stressed. I'd feel anxious. I'd feel guilty for past things. My mind would just go on repeat about stuff, or I'd waste time. I'd play more video games. I'd watch more TV. I'd drink more because no one was watching. I would smoke more weed, do more drugs because no one was watching, because I wasn't living for myself. So anytime I was alone, I was doing things that I wouldn't normally do, because the only reason I was doing those things in the first place was because I was living for someone else. Tell me, drop fires right now in this live stream if this is making sense to you. Because guys, too many of you are living for people other than yourself. Too many of you. And I know, because I've been there. Okay. Now, independent powerhouse. We just went over independent. What does powerhouse mean? Okay. What does powerhouse mean? Powerhouse means that you are hungry for the next level of yourself for yourself. Powerhouse, becoming a true powerhouse means being hungry for the next level of yourself for yourself, not for someone else, not for your kids, not for your kids' kids, not for generational wealth, not for your wife, not for your mother, not for your grandmother, for your motherfucking self. You know why? You know why? Because all of the things, all of the people that I just said, your mother, your grandmother, your parents, your spouse, your partner, your family, your kids, everybody that comes after you will benefit from you stepping into your highest potential when people are watching and when no one's watching. If you're living for other people, when no one's watching, you'll resort to the old version of yourself, to a worse version of yourself. That's how this works. That's how this works. Now, becoming a powerhouse means that you're an action taker as well. Okay. Powerhouses, the people that you see on social media or in business or on YouTube, the people that we all look up to, the Ed Miletts of the world, the Grant Cardones of the world, the Tony Robbins of the world, the Dean Graziosi of the world, the Matthew McConaughey's of the world, the Rocks of the world, those people are action takers. They are independent powerhouses. They don't need anyone to take care of them. They're spiritually, financially, emotionally stable. Everything is stable, and they are committed constantly to growth. They're fully self-sufficient. They're constantly learning. They're constantly evolving, and they're constantly taking action. Who's your why? I want to urge you today, in this moment, I want you to think about this. Because if your why is anyone other than yourself, you're making a mistake. Because at the slightest change of what's going on in your life, you will revert back to old ways. But if you're living for yourself, because you believe in yourself, because you love yourself, because you truly want to feel fulfilled in yourself, and you want to actualize your full potential, your why must be you. Guys, I love y'all. I love y'all. You're all legends. If you're watching this with me live right now, drop some fire in the chat. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend. Okay? There's a lot of people that need to hear this stuff. Share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And if you're listening to this in the podcast platforms, thank you so much for tuning in. I would love a review if you're loving this podcast so far. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace out.